Good morning, Flosstube. It is Monday, November 9th. Cannot believe it. I can't believe it's November. And it's almost the middle of November. I don't know where this year went. I was talking to my husband last night and I said, I feel like, first of all, my name is Crystal. This is my channel. Where I talk about cross stitch. But I was talking to my husband last night because March 13th was my son's 5th birthday. And we had a birthday party planned for March 14th at the karate center because they do this like Nerf gun ninja warrior situation. And it's very inexpensive and they let you invite as many people as you want. So I invited his entire class, everyone we knew from church, like everyone from Moana. I invited a ton of people. And the whole week leading up to it, and my mother-in-law came in on the train from Texas. So, like, I had friends that drove here from Michigan to spend the weekend with us. And, like, it was just crazy. So the whole week leading up to it just dragged because I didn't know, like, there were all these rumors that people were getting sick and there was a virus, but we weren't being told anything really, and the kids were still in school. So I didn't know what to do. So March 14th was his birthday party, and we had it, and a ton of people came, like a ton of people. And as we were cleaning up the birthday party, I had a few friends stay to help me clean up. And as we were cleaning it, we all got ding, 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 ding on our phones that schools were closed, everything was closed, shelter in place. And I was like, oops. Like I had no idea. And so the day of his birthday party was the day everything closed here. And I told my husband, that is a long story to tell you this. I told my husband, I feel like on March 14th, we got shoved in the washing machine and put on like an extra spin cycle. And we just do around and around and around and around and around super fast. And now here we are, November 9th. And I don't know where the whole entire year went. I know that's not the case for everyone. Some people feel like the year is just dragging and dragging. I have no idea where it went. But, okay, updates. I don't really have a whole lot. It's been a really, really good 2 weeks. I think it's been 2 weeks since I filmed. I have a lot on the table, so it has to have been 2 weeks. We live in Wisconsin, and this last week was unseasonably warm. We hit a record for like the longest days at the end of October, beginning of November. I think it was like the original record was like 3 days over 65 or something like that. I don't know. It's been 65, 70 degrees for like 8 days, and it's been amazing. So we spent a lot of time outside. Yesterday we cleaned out our entire garage. We went and bought 10 more pumpkins so we can de-seed them because I'm all about the seeds and drying fruit and doing all the things. So I don't really know how I have this much stuff to show, but I have a ton of stuff to show. So I will start first with FFOs. I decided last night that FFO in my house stands for finally finished object. That's not the case for everything, but for one of these it is. So my first FFO is I've been doing the hands-on design year-end chalk series every month. And I did November. And it is one of my favorites. Hold on, I need to clear that. Sorry, shaky. This is one of my favorites, I think because of the sentiment. I absolutely love it. So this is stitched on 14 count black Aida, and all I did was mount some black gingham on the glass from the frame and added magnets, and then I can just switch them out monthly and it leans against my lamp over here. So that's FFO number 1. I love this one. Thankful and Grateful. I think my other favorite was the one from May. It said plant seeds. I don't know if it said plant seeds of something, but it at least said plant seeds. So that one's definitely my favorite. I think this is a close second. And then on the topic of series, I am also doing the Lizzie Kate Flip It stamps. Oh, year in chalk. All I have left is December, January, February. So weird to almost be done. But I'm also doing the Lizzie Kate Flip It stamps, and I only have December and January to do now because I finished November. And he's so cute. I changed all of the colors. This was a very colorful turkey, and I am not a super colorful person. But this is just a block from Walmart. I hot glued just a bow out of burlap, and then I do the same thing. This gets magneted on, and I can switch them out every month, and it sits on my bookshelf over here. So I will run through the colors really quick. For the face, I used DMC 437. For the hat, I used DMC 310. For the feathers, I used DMC 420, 921, and 3862 and just alternated them. For the words and his beak, I used DMC 445. For the gold border and the buckle on the hat, I used DMC 832. For his gobbler, I used DMC 498. And for the inside, like around the words and the brim of the hat, which you can't really, well, there you can kind of see, it's a different color, I used Anchor 72. I don't know where Anchor is sold. I'm a DMC girl because I don't really like variegation. A lot of people do. I don't. But I have to say, I love Anchor. I think I'm definitely switching to Anchor Black instead of 310. For sure. And then the Anchor colors, it covers so nicely. Especially when you're just using one strand. It's beautiful. So then my last FFO, I am a member of the Stitch Quarterly through Fat Quarter Shop. I can move that. And our first one we got in the spring, and I called it the Giant Brown Word, you know, the giant brown letters. And I finished stitching it early summer, I want to say. I changed the color of the flower, but then it went in the drawer of shame. And I finally, this weekend was like, you know what? I'm doing it. I'm finishing it. Because I've had this house under my bed that I wanted to put it on for a really long time. So here is my FFO. I changed all the colors in the flower. That's 3 colors of pink. I just grabbed whatever I had at the time, because I don't really care for sunflowers, and I wanted to leave this up year round. Like, sunflowers are pretty, but I wanted to leave this up year round. So this is a house from Walmart spring section, so I don't know if it'll be available anymore. This fabric is like a grungy kind of, I don't know what that, I got from Joann's. This is stitched on 14 count fabric flare. Whitewashed board, maybe. It came in the kit. And then I just used some ribbon and made a bow. And then I have all these vintage spools that I got at a garage sale. And I took one of the pinks from, well, I have no idea if it's one of the pinks. I am, fun fact, colorblind. It is a very rare trait in females to be colorblind, and I am. So I can see that, like, that's pink, and I can see that that's brown, but if I were to hold all my skeins of DMC up, I wouldn't be able to tell which one it was. So I had my husband and my daughter at the table last night, and I said, okay, you guys look through these boxes, because I have 3 boxes of DMC, and I said, and you pick a pink that looks like it's one of these pink. And so they decided that that pink matches the darkest pink in the flower. And I just ran a line of hot glue on the back of the spool and wrapped some DMC around. And it hangs on this, and I love it. Love, love, love it. So that is finally done. Woohoo! So up next, I have Whips. Whips, works in progress. I, last week, was going to show Starlit Snowflake, and I couldn't find it. I turned the camera off, hit the upload button, found Starlit Snowflake. That's just how it goes, right? So I'm going to show it today. This is a pattern from the Fat Quarter Shop. It's So Emma. I fell in love with this. You can see they gave you different like color options. I fell in love with this and decided that I wanted it up year round. So I'm stitching it seasonally. I started with fall, and I've shown that before. And then I did Christmas. And I love it. I absolutely love it. So that is, let me see. I don't know what colors I used. 2 reds, 2 greens. I just pulled from my stash. I want to say one of them is $4.98 and one of them is $6.66 that I swore I would never use, but it's a really nice red. So that's that one. I am in January doing the one for Valentine's Day, and I'm using the red option that's on the cover. So that is what I'm going to do for Valentine's Day, and I'm going to do it in January. So that's Starlit Snowflake. Up next was 7 Pines. This is a freebie from Little House Needleworks from 2013. So if you just Google Little House Needleworks 7 Pines, it'll come up. Super cute. So it said like DMC Shell Pink Dark, DMC Hazelnut Brown Dark. I kind of pulled a bunch of my own colors, but here is my finish. It's so cute. This was my October ornament. I'm trying to do an ornament every month. This is the one for October. So I used, I don't know what they were for because I just have symbols here, but I used all DMCs, 37, 21, 420, 921, 520, 3371, and Blanc. And it's so cute. And it went so fast. This was like 2 hours, hour and a half, 2 hours. So I'll get that one finished up. Right, next is Quilty Love. I've burned myself out on this. I don't have my cover page. I do not have my cover page. Anyway, Quilty Love is also a pattern. It's Lori Holt. It's So Emma from Fat Quarter Shop. And I fell in love with it too. And it was like one of my very first cross stitches. And the colors were so Valentine's-y. And I was like, but I want to keep it up. I don't want to take it down. So I'm going to do it again. And I did it for Easter. And then I started it for the summer. I decorate patriotic. Oh my goodness, there's floss everywhere. So here's my patriotic one. I haven't worked on this one in a while. And then I did a fall one. Like I knew I wasn't going to finish this in time. So I switched and I did a fall one. I finished that. It's hanging on the wall. Ooh, sorry. Got the yawns. And then I started a Christmas and I'm kind of burned out. But I feel like if I just keep plugging along at it, it'll get done. I did not iron this. It is crispy and wrinkly and it has hoop marks, but there is my Christmas one. Oh, my lighting is bad. So I'm just switching the colors up in the pattern to kind of whatever for that season. This is my last one. Yes. This and the patriotic one that I need to finish. That's it. And then I'm done with Quilty Love. Sayonara. I love it, but 5 times, it's a lot. So Christmas, I am using 321, which is my favorite bright red. 498 is my favorite red, but 321 is my favorite, like, bright red. 310, I'm just doing the little hearts in 310, so not much of it. 3347 for the green, and it is like a, I just love that green. It's like an avocado. It's beautiful. And I want to say 3865. Yep, 3865 is my favorite white. Don't know why, just is. Everyone has their favorite. And that's mine. So that's Quilty Love. Next is, so I also like to participate in the occasional seasonal stitch-alongs that Fat Quarter Shop does. They did Mistletoe Lane in July. I did not keep up. I'm still working on it. And that was going to be my Strand a Day project. I didn't even touch it in the last 2 weeks. It's not even here for me to show. My goal is Strand a Day this next 2 weeks. Strand a Day. But I did keep up with their Halloween one, and I finished it on Halloween. So this is Fright Night. This is a piece of 14 count, just like whatever, Ada, that I dyed in RIT. Like a couple quick dips, and then the color was right in my opinion, and then I tea coffee dyed it, and then I baked it. And I kept up with it, and I love it. So what's funny is, look at that house. That house is amazeballs. Amazeballs. You heard it here. So the pattern dropped on Friday. Halloween was on Saturday. And I told myself, I'm not carrying this into November 1st. It's not happening. I don't care if I have to stay up round the clock. This is not getting worked on in November. I think I'm just disappointed in myself from the Mistletoe Lane sal, which is funny because I have another sal to tell you all about. I need to stop doing sals after this next one because if I can't keep up, I just feel like a horrible human, which is ridiculous. I put too much pressure on myself. On myself. No one does it to me. But this tree, I had about half done. Well, I had like down to here. And it was time to go trick-or-treating. Which we did go do. It was weird. But I said to my husband, how about this? Because I didn't want to go trick-or-treating. I wanted to just work on this and finish it. I said, I'm not going to bed until this is done, so I don't want to go trick-or-treating. He's like, you've never missed trick-or-treating. So I was like, how about this? I'll drive, I'll follow along, and I'll stitch. So I drove the car, and I would like pull over, put it in park, put my light on, and I had a clipboard with my pattern, and this, and like only the orange and the blacks. The oranges and the black. And I would like put 5 stitches in, look up to see where they were, drive a little bit further, pull over, hit the light, like, and I finished it in 2 hours. I don't know how I did that in 2 hours, but I did, and I love it. So there's that. So my daughter, she is turning 13 this month. She was Hermione Granger again. We didn't buy her another costume. Y'all are probably gonna tell me I'm a horrible parent, and that's fine. I talked to her about it. I'll call her back. She is getting into the sizes where, like, if we buy her anything, it's like sexy cat, sexy nurse, sexy firefighter, sexy zombie, whatever. And so when we were at the store, she was at the store with my husband for something, and they were looking at, no, we went to the thrift store, and she was looking at the costumes, and I told her, you know, at the thrift store, if you can find one that's your size, I'll buy it. We didn't even know if we were going trick-or-treating or not. And she came up to me and she said, everything says sexy on it. And I said, I know, because you're getting ready to turn 13, and the world tries to sexualize 13-year-olds, and it's gross. So we decided that was probably her last trick-or-treating in like a store-bought costume situation. We might come up with something creative next year if she wants to trick-or-treat. I have no problem with her trick-or-treating until she's however old she wants to be. I don't care. That's not it. It's the buying a costume. I cannot do it. I cannot buy a sexy cat costume for a 13-year-old. Plus, she only wears it on Halloween. Now, my son, on the other hand, thinks he is not a human 7 days a week. So, like, he goes to school, he'll come home, he puts on a costume. This whole entire, it's like a 4-cubby system full of costumes for Grayson. And masks and hats and capes. He wears them every day. They are toys to him. And he is so serious. He takes the personality on. So I buy him a costume every year. Most years I buy him like 2 or 3. We normally trick-or-treat 3 times at 3 different locations with 3 different groups of friends on 3 different days. And so I get 3 costumes, mainly because they get so much use. So much use. And a lot of times I buy them after Halloween on clearance, and then I hang on to them for the next year. But he was the Mandalorian this year. And he has Baby Yoda. And I got, you know, a little kid grocery cart, and we spray painted it gray and put Baby Yoda in it. And he pushed this little cart with baby. It was so cute. Longest tangent. Anywho, what's next? So don't feel bad for her. Her and I stayed up a couple of nights and watched scary movies together. Like, she's at like such a weird age where we want to include her in all of the kid stuff, but she's not a little kid. And she knows she's not a little kid, so she even feels kind of awkward. So we told her, because she wasn't even going to go trick-or-treating this year, and I started to feel bad, and I said, hey, do me a favor. Come trick-or-treating. And she was like, I don't want it. And I was like, just do me a favor and go trick-or-treating with your brother, because we didn't go with friends this year, and we only went one time. Just go with your brother so he's not alone, and he'll feel more comfortable. So we kind of squeaked out one more year by telling her she was doing us a favor. We'll see what happens next year. If we go with friends next year, she'll want to go. But anyway, moving on. My next stitch was on the 4th, I pull out Land That I Love by Teresa Kogut. I love it. This is going to be on my WhipGo 2021 board, and the plan was to do all of this next year as a WhipGo. And I was stitching it, and I was like, what is wrong with you? Why do you do this to yourself? You're not. I was looking at all of my goals for next year. You are not going to get this done. And if you do, awesome. But like, if you don't, you're going to be super upset. So my WhipGo square for Land That I Love is to work on it 12 days in 2021, which is perfect because I pull it out on the 4th of every month. So that'll be easy. Easy peasy. but it'll help keep me, like on track and not scatterbrained. So this is on a piece of 18 count Aida that I tea coffee dyed. And there is my progress. And my lighting is just not the greatest. I live in an apartment with no lights. Well, I take that back. The dining room and the living room both have weird lights, but there's no other lights. Everything else is lamps. So there it is. So last time I finished the tree, and this time I worked on the vine and those 3 strawberries, and it is very cute, and I love it. But that took me an entire day. And it's not even finished because the little inside stitches inside the strawberries, they're not done. So that's when I was like, nope, don't make that your goal. Don't do it. So that's land that I love. My husband really likes that piece. So next up was Early Americans by Little House Needleworks. So I do have a goal for this one. It is on my Whip Go board for 2021 as a complete finish. And it'll happen. It'll definitely happen. So well, I guess I should show you. Well, there's a lot of stuff in this bag. Oh, there it is. So here is the one that I am working on this month. John Hancock. This is number 2. So this is the top middle. I mean, I guess you could put them anywhere you wanted. John Hancock. Last month, I finished Freedom, which was the middle block. And then this time, oh, it's a big piece of fabric. I did that much in one day. So this is on a piece of 14 count Aida that I tea coffee dyed, and it is going to be a massive piece. This is one of my favorites. I love this set. I decided I am going to use Vanna Pfeiffer's border. I'm just going to mention this again. I printed it out. It's just in black and white, and it's not the whole thing, and I'm just going to do a boop. So she has a border. You have to go to Vanna Pfeiffer's Instagram. I believe it's the Twisted Stitcher, I think. Or if I remember. Just go to Instagram and search Vanna Pfeiffer. And I think she has a link tree or her blog or something, and it talks about Early Americans. And she says it's free to use as long as you give her credit for it, because she did design it. So I am using the border, and I love it. Love it. So Early Americans is one of my favorite. It's going to stay up year round. I'm going to put it in my stairway, on the wall, same as Land That I Love, and it's going to stay up year round. As is Coming to America. We are coming into my 24 hours of cross stitch project. Yes. So I participated in 24 hours of cross stitch. That is the baby of Jen Lee, Quirks and Stitches. She has a Flosstube and an Instagram. And 4 times a year, she and her mom host. They don't host. There's like not a. It's just a weekend. And there's a group on Facebook, 24 hours of cross stitch. You can use the hashtag on Instagram, hashtag 24 hours of cross stitch marathon. I don't know. There's a bunch of them. And the goal is to just get 24 hours of cross stitch in that weekend. And so I started Friday morning and worked through Sunday night. I like to split it up, do 8, 8, and 8. It is a stretch. It was very hard to do because it was so beautiful. It was just so beautiful. So here's some of the threads. I made my own little, it's not all of them, it's just some of them. I am doing this on 18 count vintage country mocha. Here's the pattern. Coming to America. So I love it and I'm frustrated by it. And I have heard a lot of people say this, so I know I'm not alone. This is just a ridiculous piece of fabric. Okay, the lighting's not going to help. Here is my stitching. You can see it better on there than I can see it in person. So the birds are super light, but the fabric is light. So the birds don't show up as well. Now, a lot of people are going and back stitching. I'm not doing it. I hate backstitch. I hate back stitching. So I'm not. The real issue I'm having is the sails. Now, these are surrounded by stitches and there is some like straight stitching happening around the edges, back stitch, I guess, to differentiate. So that will help. But like in person right now, I can't see. Part of it's because I'm colorblind, but I can't see. It's hard to stitch because there's not much differentiation. Like the white is better, but that color is so hard to see. So I was like, nope, not work. I did do a little bit of this sail, but I was like, I've got to stop. So I put in the fish and worked around the fish and did these waves and then worked the border down a little bit more. And I love it. This is also on my Whipco board for next year. And my goal was, has changed, but my goal was to get to there in 2021. Do all of this. Now I could probably do that. I probably could. But I don't have like a specific finishing date in mind for this piece. A lot of people are working on this. They worked on this starting September. This is by Brenda Gervais. September 6th, they worked on it for 66 days. They're finishing Wednesday. And I'm not. I can't do more than probably 4 to 5 days in a row on something, and then I just get super bored. So I pull this out on the 6th every month. And I could probably make that happen. Probably. But I just decided I'm going to say my goal for 2021 is to work on this 12 times. Which is, again, done because I pull it out on the 6th every month. And that'll help ensure that I continue to do so. So it'll get a little love every month, and it'll take me a long time. There's my needle minder, isn't she just... I'm so cute. That'll just help and like remind me. You pull this out. You don't want to skip it. So that's Women of the Mayflower. My next 8 hours we're done on. This is my favorite piece. Definitely my favorite. And I want to show both of these. Okay. So my goal is to get 1 block a month done on Little Sheep Virtues. And this month I am working on Courage. I'm stitching it all as one piece. You can, I can't remember if they have like an outline or something on their, I'm trying to do this without any glare. God, sheep. On their website, I can't remember, but I'm kind of doing my own thing. I did see a few people do this, which is what gave me the idea. So the Little Sheep Virtues, there are 12 of them, I believe. Yeah, there are 12 of them. And then Country Cottage Needleworks did this pattern with the sheep. And it says, sheep in the meadow singing their song softly and sweetly all the day long. So my plan is this piece is going in the very center. Along the top are 5 of these. Along the bottom are 5 of these. And then on either side is one of these. I don't know what, I think there's a few reasons this is my favorite. One is probably because of my faith, and this is the virtues from the Bible. Sheep virtues, because in the Bible, you know, we're shepherded like sheep. We're considered sheep. And if you're a believer, you want to be considered a sheep because you want to be a follower of Jesus. That goes against worldview. I totally understand. But I also love it because I love Little House Needleworks. I love their designs. Also, I'm doing this one on 18 count too. And the little tiny stitches. Jeez. Some big piece of fabric. So last month I did Peace. See, this is the start of that middle one. I needed to just kind of get a starting point. So I did Peace, and then this is Courage. That's how far I got on Saturday. And those tiny little bitty stitches. I just love it so much. So it's going to be big. Oh, I'm so sorry. But it is being done on 18 count, so it's not going to be as big as if it were 14. But I love it. It's one of my favorites. So this is also on my WIPCO board for 2021, and it is the Little Sheep Virtues, a complete finish. And I think another square is Sheep in the Meadow, which is the large piece. I think so. I could be totally wrong. It could just be the whole dang thing. But that will also happen. That, Early Americans, those are 2 like major focuses for me for next year, as is Farmhouse Christmas. Those are the 3 big pieces that they're my goal to get done. I want them on the wall. Okay, and then my last WIP. Ooh, why am I yawning so much? Is also my last 8 hours of Seasons in Chalk. So I wanted to show a couple things with this. So this is the, oh, I gotta pull down. So this is what it looks like. I just printed a black and white photo, and there's Sharpie all over it. This is what it will look like. It is the next installment of that. And I got the house done. I got another couple snowflakes. The W is finished, and I got the house done. I didn't take this out of the hoop because I'm working on it today again. And I'm going to work on the snowman today. But, you guys, I will take it out of the hoop. So I'm a center starter. I like to ensure that I have enough space, and this piece of fabric is pretty tight. So I started in the center on the end, but then I got to the house, and I was like, where's your bottom border? So on this page, another page, because the other 3 I've done were just like a 2-page spread. On this page with like the colors and stuff is also the bottom border. It's already tight, so I had a little panic, and I am going to end up having about 3/4 of an inch margin on the bottom. I'm going to have plenty of room at the top. So that was my ding dong moment. You're a ding dong. So I worked on that, and I'm going to work on it again today. I'm putting my hoop back on because I want to show you something. I am not the first person to show you this, I am sure. But I went and did a thing. I went and bought a thing. I don't have any other haul. This is my only haul, and it's not even from the last 2 weeks because I got them like a month ago. I can't remember who the first person I saw use them was. Put this back on. Okay, so here's my piece, and I hold it in my left hand. And this is a lot of annoying fabric to go around and around. So I have seen a lot of people using these magnetic twist ties. So I was like, I'll give it a shot. And I went on Amazon and I bought the cheapest ones I found. Don't do that. Don't do that. They were about that long, and the magnet wasn't great. So they wouldn't wrap around the amount of fabric I needed to wrap around. They would have wrapped around this piece because I don't have as much fabric. So what I use them for is I roll all my excess up. I put a magnet on the front. I put a magnet on the back. And it holds it all in place. And I usually do one up here and one down here. My 2 magnets. And it's been super nice to keep my fabric all just kind of managed better. Especially on some of those like Land That I Love, some of those other pieces, Early Americans, that are just massive. It's super helpful. So I got these about a month ago. Well, I got the short ones about a month ago. Don't buy the short ones. They don't work. They don't work very well. Like, the amount of fabric that they'll hold is manageable without them. So get the long ones because, as you can see, they're a little too big for this piece, but I can just move these in further. And it holds all of that out of the way. And it also doubles as a needle minder. So try them. They're called magnetic twist ties on Amazon. I will link below these black ones. I can't remember how many came in there. They're like median priced. And they're fabulous. They're fabulous. I wanted to try them for a while before I talked about them because I didn't like when I got those cheapy ones, cheapy short ones in. I could have shown them on a Flosstube right away. Been like, I just got these. Aren't they great? They're not great. And I wouldn't have known that until I tried stitching with them. And so then I was irritated. And I bought these other ones. I was like, I'm going to try them for a while before I talk about them. But I do love them. So that is all of my whips. I do have 2 more things I want to talk about. The first is called, it is a page on Instagram. And it is called Stitching Book Club. Let me see. So what they do is she has an Etsy. I just found out about this weekend. I don't know if I've been living under a rock and everyone else already knows about it, but I figured I'd tell you. I'm super excited. So it's a page on Instagram, Stitching Book Club, and you Okay. Words. Get it together. So for the Halloween season, they read Frankenstein. You read the book. And then they create a Sal. I don't know if you can see that very well. To go along with it. And it comes out in parts while you're reading the book. And I was like, oh, that sounds so fun. And they did a hop on over to my Flosstube channel for my newest Stitch With Me video. I am discussing my thoughts on Frankenstein and stitching my Blackbird freebie chart. Like I said, I just found out about this. And so the next Sal they're doing is a Christmas Carol. So I'm going to get the pattern and read a Christmas, not read, who's got time for that? Listen to a Christmas Carol on audiobook and stitch the Sal. So I don't know when. That is literally, I've regurgitated everything I know. Their latest, so if you go to Stitching Book Club and just follow them on Instagram, their latest post says it's beginning to look a lot like a Christmas Carol. I know everyone is going crazy waiting for the A Christmas Carol info to drop, and I promise it's coming. I'm doing things different this time around, and I just want to make sure that I get it all right. Lots of exciting things in store. So just follow their page, and more information will come out. I'm excited for that. So that's one thing I wanted to tell you about. And the next is my birthday is in 20 days. And I had asked for y'all to enable me and let me know, like, what's your favorite kind of series-ish, whatever is, because I want to add things to my wish list for my birthday. And I think that I'm going to go with wordplay. I really, really, really want them. I really want the January through December word plays. I'm not going to turn them into pillows. I'm going to frame them and switch them out every month. I really, really, really want them. So I did decide on that. But on my birthday, I am going to start, and I guess I can do a hashtag, like a Sal, like a, I don't know what it would say. But I am doing The 3 Little Words by Lizzie Kate. So you can get these, if some shops still have them, I don't really know, but you can get Lizzie Kate from 123 Stitch. So there are 7 in the series, and you can stitch them individually or you can stitch them as one big piece. I'm going to stitch them as one big piece. I'm going to start in the middle because that's what I do. So I'm going to start with 4. But the first one says, today choose joy, keep it simple. The next one says, be kind always, enjoy every moment. So cute. The next one says, forgive, move on, think happy thoughts. This I need to work on. Number 4, which is the one I'm going to start with on my birthday, and then I'll work out, says, you've got this, be you bravely. And then, well, yeah, no, these are in the right order. 5 says, never give up, make it happen. And then 6 says, dreaming is free, believe in miracles. And the last one says, embrace the journey, life is good. And these are also on my Whip Go board for 2021. But yeah, so you stitch it in one big thing. So I think I'm going to use the hashtag, I think I'll do like hashtag 3 little words B-Day Sal. And I am starting them on November 29th. I am starting with number 4 because I'm a middle starter. They call for DMC and they have a little button. I got all the DMC for number 4, and I don't know what I'm going to do them on. It calls for 32 count lamb's wool linen. Do they all call for that? Yes, they all call for that. So I might get, I'm going to see if there's something equivalent in a 16 count. So it'll be the same size. But that's what I'm starting on my birthday. And I'm probably going to do like 1 a month. They shouldn't take long. They're very simple. But I want this done and hanging on the wall also. So starting that on the 29th. If anyone wants to join me. And I think that's all I have. I have no haul to show. Plans for the next 2 weeks are, oh my goodness, stop yawning. Early Americans, Little Sheep Virtues, Quilty Love, I know is in there. Seasons in Chalk, I know is in there. I can't remember where else. I have a calendar. I'll show it sometime. A calendar of what I use to plan my month. So, anywho, that is all I have for today. Thank you so much for watching and coming back. If you're coming back and if you're new, I should have done all this in the beginning. But anyway, thank you so much for watching, especially if you've stuck this long with my scatterbrainness. And until next week, I hope everyone stays safe and healthy and that you have tons and tons of blessings and enjoy your stitching. See you later.